I'm going to give you access. Okay, I made you as the host, Shravani. You can share your screen. Hello, Shravani. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, these are the 4 subnets we created. Just we created subnets. There is no relation between the any subnet. So by default, there is default subnets, right? I want to make a connection between the subnets to route table, specific route table I want to choose. So there is a one public one, right? Select that subnet, right? Here, route table is there one section. Expand that a bit. Just okay. Okay, enough. Okay, keep it there. So we selected one public one route table. Okay, public one route table is selected. Okay, go to route tables. So in the route tables, click on edit route table association. So this subnets belongs to which route table it is showing us now? Private route table means the default route table, right? Private RT we gave, right? Private RT is what? Default route table. Yes or no, guys? So we have not associated this subnet to any route table. So it is showing us private route table. Okay, cancel it. Don't do this. Just go back. Leave it. Don't do this. Just cancel. Scroll down. There will be a cancel button. Or go back. Anything is fine. So first, just for practice, just go to VPC EC2 and create an instance in that public. Just search for the service. Why you are going there? Search service. You just type EC2. Right click and open a new tab. Okay, you clicked on it. Okay, leave it. No problem. So here, go to launch instances and create 2 instances. Yeah, select that. Yes, select that. Now here, create one instance. Select the availability zone as one instance. Select the availability zone. VPC custom. Sorry, my VPC. One select as private one. Okay, private one. So you know, right? First 2 are public. Okay, you click on that. Expand show all. So public 1, public 2. Public 1 created in US is to 1A. Public 2 created in 1B. Private 1 created in 1C. Private 2 is created in 1D. So first 2 are public, right? Subnets. Next 2 what we created are private. So create this instance in a private subnet. Okay, private subnet. Public 1, sorry, private 1 you create it. Select that private one. Okay, so just do one thing. Auto assign public IP is there, right? So how it will do is, if you use auto assign public IP based on subnet settings, as of now, all 4 subnets are private subnets. So it will not create a public IP. So enable that. Forcibly, you create public IP address. Okay. So next. So you understood that auto assign public IP based on your subnet settings. If you are going to launch an EC2 instance in private subnet, it will not create a public IP address. If you create an instance in the public subnet, it will assign a public IP address, right? So auto means, so forcibly I'm saying, even though it is a private IP subnet, I want to get a public IP address, right? So subnetting that host type and all, leave it. Okay, or else you can scroll there, just expand that and just show that button. See, it is IP name, resource name it is showing. Just leave it, no problem. If you want whatever it is, no problem, leave it. Okay, scroll down. So it will show the DNS name or IP address, whatever you want. So these are normal settings, right? Click on next, add storage. Normal settings, you all know this. So default storage, okay, leave it 8, no problem. Why to change it? 8 only. Okay. So if it is Red Hat, it will ask 10. That is default storage. Every type of instance will have different security group. Select that default security group there. Or you can create a new security group. Create new security group. Create new security group. Right? Add the rule. All traffic you add for now. Leave it. There's the default thing. Okay, for identification. Okay, you give it as right. Add rule all traffic for now. All traffic. You select all traffic. Just for proof. All traffic. Okay. Custom anywhere. Select this. Review and launch. Okay. You select the PIM file, whatever you have. North Virginia region. So do you have that key pair with you? I'm asking you, do you have that key pair? Yes, then continue. If you have, you continue. To connect, you want to try to connect to that instance. Okay. Just now we have seen the proof that in security group, all traffic is allowed. Okay. Okay. Create one more instance in a public subnet now. Launch one more instance in a public subnet. So just now we created in a private one, right? Let's create in public one. The same steps. Public one, you select it as public one. Last time we selected in private one, assign that public IP enable. Even though it is a private subnet, I want to get a public IP address. Okay, enable, add storage. Default options, those you know not to touch. Select the same security group where all traffic allowed, right? Just last time we created a security group, right? Where all traffic is allowed, that security group she's selecting. Yes, review and launch. Okay, done. Now close the filter. Let's show that both the instances. Close the filter. Filter. Name the name. Give the naming for that first quickly. Running one is private instance. Give the name it as private instance, which is created in private subnet. Just private is also enough. Okay. No. I think that is no. You are giving a wrong name, I guess. That is a public one, I guess. Because just now we are initially that is private. Okay, save it. Just select there, stay there. Just let's check it. So first two we created public or private, guys?
Private.
Select one instance. First private we created, Pakka?
Yes.
Okay, last two are public, right? Last two subnets. For clarification, just launch an instance. I forgot. Launch an instance. Click on launch instance. Go to the third step. Select 1A. Show that default. No. Select your VPC, custom VPC, my VPC. Okay. So here, private. See, you are wrong. First, we created public 1A. US East 1A. First, we created one, then 1B, 1C, right? First two are public. Okay. So go there. Go back. Done. First two are public. One. Then the naming is incorrect. I guess you are giving correct. Close that. Okay. Select one. Any one of that. This is private. How I am saying is, you see the IP addressing range. For the first two subnets are public subnets. There I gave the series as 10.30.1.0/24, 10.30.2.0/24. Here it is 3. 4 belongs to what? Private, right? So you give the change the names there, public to private. So you are giving correct, I guess. I think I got confused. So there it is private. Okay. So next one you change to public. Okay, save this. Now try to connect to both the instance. Wait, before connecting, security group, you know that, what is that? We allowed all traffic. Now let's see the NACL also. Let's go to NACL. We go to VPC. You open in a new tab. Just search for the service VPC. Okay, right click on VPC on new tab. Okay, so go to that VPC. So far, is it clear, guys, what I'm doing?
Yes, bro.
Okay, so this is our VPC NACL ante ada. Go to NACL. Okay, network access there only. There only it's gone under security. Network ACL. So there, which one belongs to our subnet? Our VPC. We can see by seeing the subnets only. 6 are there, 4 are there. We created only 4 subnets. So this is our, we can scroll right and see the VPC ID also. But 4 subnet we have. We never created 6, right? Only 2 NACLs are there. Now go to inbound rules of this. Edit inbound rules. Same like security group. It is saying all traffic anywhere already there. So you can see that all traffic, type all traffic, protocol all, source is this allow. So anyone can access. Anyone can access it is saying. So it's cool. Everything is allowed. So we no need to change anything here. This is correct. All traffic is allowed. Cancel. Rules I'll discuss in separate topic about NACL. I'll discuss a separate, NACL itself is a separate topic. I'll discuss at that time what is that rule, numbers and all. Okay, leave it. Now go to EC2, try to connect to one instance. Just close that. Okay, try to connect to one instance, any instance. So security group, no issue. Take the IP address, connection, open your git bash. What you are doing, I don't know. Git bash open cheyamma ante file open chestunna. Okay. You can right click there only. Close it. Why to do that CD again and all? Your PIM file is there here. Just right click on, not on the file. Come out of the file, not on the file. If you open the file, what will happen? There, right click. Show more options. Open git bash here. Here only it will open. So downloads, directly on downloads it open. Here you give that enter command, enter that command, connect command. అది అవసరం లేదు, అది ఒకసారి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేసిన చాలు, ఆల్రెడీ చేసి ఉంటావు. ఓకే, నౌ ట్రై టు దిస్. It will not connect. Okay, you can wait for some time. It will not connect. Okay, why to waste our time? It will not connect. By the time go to second, leave it as it is. Go to the next instance. Get that connect command of that instance. This is 8.9, right? Private you try to connect. So select the public and get the connect. Take that command. Go to that git bash. For both, right? It failed. It failed. Now try for the other instance. No, why you are exiting? Already it is exited. You are on your mission only. If you are connected, then you have to type exit to come out. Right? If you type exit, terminal will get closed there. You are not inside the instance to exit. It failed, right? It will also fail, right? It will also fail, you trust me. Now, why they are failing? Because the instances are in which subnets? Public one and private one. Those subnets are connected to which route table? Default route table, which is a private route table. Now I want to add the instances, which are on public subnet, right? I want to make that public 1, public 2 subnets as public subnets, right? So for that, what we have to do is go to NACL, go to subnet section on top, subnets, right? Select that public one. So you gave only public one, not okay. Okay. Do one thing. Scroll up. Just on the filters. Oh, leave it, no problem. Otherwise, anything means to display only for we can apply filters there. Okay, leave it. So now this, right? Private to private one, public to those belongs to our VPC. The other things which don't have name, right? Those belongs to default VPC. On the right side also you can see the CID happening. Now select the public one. Go to route tables. Which route table it is using by default? That is default route table. Select that. Expand that, select the public route table there here. Public route table is a custom route table, right? Scroll down. So it is showing the destination, means within the network, the targets, right? The route table routes are this. Within the internal connection is possible, and outside connection is through internet gateway is also possible. Means the instances which are connected to this route table, they can do these type of communication. Save it. Now go to public to route table. Do the same. So now public one, public two, subnets are associated to which route table? Public route table, right? Custom route table, which is a public route table. Save it. Okay. Now go to that private one and private two. Any one of this private two, you go. So go to routes, edits. So is this attached to private route table? So default route table, right? So that private one and private two are attached to private route table. Scroll down. The rule is only internal communication. The routes you can see that. Okay, internal local communication, right? Okay, cancel it. Okay, done. Now go to that instance EC2. Take that public instance connection command. Now go to your git bash and try to make a connection. Yes. Is it connecting, guys? Is it connecting to the instance? Yes or no? Okay. Next, exit. Now you type exit. So you'll come out of that instance to your local git bash. Now take the connection command of your instance, which is on private subnet, the private instance. Okay, try to connect with that. Will it get connect? Will it connect? No. So you understood, right? Public private subnets, how to create?
Yes.
Now there is one problem. Not a problem. Everything, whatever is we did is 100% realistic, correct also, accurate 100%, right? Now, I have a question with these instances which are on a private subnet. There are instances on private subnet, right? Yes or no, guys? There are instances on the public subnet. Public subnet instances, I'm able to connect from outside the world. So just now you connected to that public instance. You can go and download, right? You just connected to that public instance. There you can install install HTTPD, anything you can do there. But I have a private subnet. To that subnet, I want to connect and install something. Is it possible? The instance which is on my private subnet, I want to connect to that and do installations, few installations. Is that possible?
No.
When it is not possible, what is the use of that? I want to install a database. One second, right? I want to install a database. right? I want to install a database. If you are unable to connect to that instance, how can you install a database? How can you install a database? So I have an approach. What I'll do is I'll connect it to public subnet instance. I'll connect it to an instance which is there on the public subnet. Okay. From there, I will go to instance which is on private subnet. How? Because instance to instance communication, even though they are in public or private subnet, instance to instance communication is possible. Direct communication with the private IP address is possible. Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll go to an public instance, right? Means the instance which is on public subnet. I'll go to that. From there, I'll go to an instance which is on private subnet. There I'll try to download something. Will it allow? There is a way to connect. Okay, I'm not saying whether we can download or not. I'm saying the way to connect. I'll go to an instance which is there on the public subnet, right? Through a public IP address. From there, using a private IP address, right? I'll connect to an instance which is on private subnet. That is possible. The route tables allows default communication, internal communication. From there, as I connected to that private instance, can I download something there? Is it possible? Yes or no, guys? Yes or no? ఏదో ఒకటి చెప్పండి. Am I audible, guys, at least?
Yes.
Okay. Now tell me. So somehow I connected to an instance which is on a private subnet, means private instance. From there I can download something or not. M install HTTPD. If I try type, will it work or not? చెప్పండి, ఏం కొడతాను నేను ఏమన్నా? లిటిల్ లౌడర్. నిజంగా వినపడలే. ఫాస్ట్ టైం అయిపోతుంది. Yes or no, guys?
It should work.
It should?
It should work.
It should. It will not. Why? You connected to an instance. Okay, fine. Either it is an inbound or outbound, whatever it is, which is the route table it is pointing to? Security group and NACL, leave it. Either someone wants to connect to your instance or your instance wants to come out of VPC and connect to some other external instance. It has to come through route table. To which route table it is connected? Which route table? Default route table, which is a private route table. Is it connected to internet gateway? No. So both the ways communication, it's not possible. From instance to instance you connected, because that route table of the private subnet will allow internal communication, you did it. But when you try to download something, a request has to go out, but your route table will not allow that. Last time it allowed because internal communication. You are asking for external, it will throw error. Then what is the use? So to solve this issue, there was something called as Bastion host in olden days. But now in place of that, AWS is saying, we only giving one feature, you use it, that is called as NAT Gateway. NAT, N-A-T, NAT, right? NAT Gateway is there. What is this is? It will allow communication for the instances which are there on private subnet. Remember this. NAT, what it will do is, it will allow the communication, right? It will give the access to an instances which are there on private subnet, but one-way communication, instance to outside communication, but not from outside to instance. So I have an instance which is there on my private subnet. So I'm creating one NAT gateway for my private subnet. Means all the instances in that subnet will get that NAT gateway access. So what it will do, NAT gateway is not for specific instance, it is for subnet. So I'll create a subnet. I'll create a NAT gateway for my subnet, private one subnet, right? So what it will do is the instances which are created on that private one subnet, they can talk to outside world, internet. They can come out of the instance, outbound rules they can make, they can download something. But someone from us like outside trying to access that instance with a git bash or some other tool or something else with IP address or DNS, it will not allow. So what NAT will provide? One-way communication for the instances which are on private subnet. Understood? Instance to outside world communication or outside to instance communication? Which communication it will provide?
Inside to outside communication.
Instance to outside world communication. If that is not possible, what is the use of the instance? I'll take a Linux instance. Then what I have to do? So other than that, no use. So I want to download something. If you create an instance, you're creating for some purpose, right? So earlier there was something called as Bastion host. Now that is little difficult and extra steps are there. So they asked to eliminate that option. Then they gave this means that we have to implement it. Bastion host is not a predefined option. We have to implement it. But instead of that instance, they are NAT gateway they are going to create. Okay. Let me explain something about NAT. So I said it will provide one-way communication. NAT can be created for private subnet. You remember, don't get confused here. Concentrate. Keep your mobiles away. Right? Don't touch. Listen this. NAT gateway is nothing but like one of the instance. It is like one of the instance. Right? So Stravani, make me as the host. Okay, go to participants, go to my name. There will be one option called as more. When you click on this, it will show make as host. You make me as the host fast. Go to participants, my name. Okay, now I'm the host. You stop sharing. Let me share my screen. Okay, are you able to see my screen, guys? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let me explain it quickly. I have a VPC. Okay, I have a VPC. Okay, this has 4 subnets. This has 4 subnets. 2 are public, 2 are private. Okay, so these are public 1, public 2, 1. Private 1. Right. This is private 2. So this has one route table. Okay, these 2 has one route table. These 2 has one route table, right? So public and private route tables. Now what will happen is, so these 2 uses this route table, these 2 uses route table. So somehow I connected to an instance. So here I have an instance, public subnet. I have one instance. This I have one instance. So I came here. So internet gateway is there here. From there to here I gave. From there to here I came. Now I want to download something. So it will use this route table only. Okay, it will use route table only. It cannot allow outside communication because this only route table has internet gateway communication. This don't have. Now what I'll do is I'll create a NAT gateway. I want to make at least one-way communication, not outside to internal, but internal to outside world, because I want to download something. How you can make is, you need to create a NAT gateway. NAT instance also people will call. Not in NAT instance is different, sorry. NAT gateway, we have to create it here. Where you want to create a NAT gateway is inside a public subnet. Remember, you are creating NAT gateway for private subnet. ఎవరి కోసం క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నావు? You are creating for private subnet, but where you are creating is public subnet. You are creating inside a public subnet. So this is nothing but, right? NAT gateway is nothing but one instance in your VPC, sorry, in subnet. It is like normal instance, like how we create an EC2 instance, right? It is like a normal instance, but with some special features. What it will do is, so I created a NAT gateway in my public subnet. I attached this to my private subnet one. Okay, I created a NAT gateway. Okay, I created a NAT gateway in my public subnet where I have to create it in public subnet and attach it to my private subnet. So the instances which are in this, okay, this I need to make a communication with this route table. How was I? See, I created a NAT gateway in my private, public subnet. I want to attach this to my private subnet. How you will attach is using this private route table. So you are going to attach this NAT gateway to your route table. So this route table belongs to these two private subnets. So this NAT gateway will be applied to both the private subnets. If I want to apply only NAT gateway to only one subnet, what you have to do? You have to create one more route table, separate route table for this and separate route table for this. Why? Because this needs NAT gateway, this doesn't need NAT gateway. So like that, if you attach these two, so these two private route tables, these two private subnets are attached to same route table. If I create a NAT gateway in my public subnet and attach this to my NAT gateway, right? As this NAT gateway used connected to this route table, and these two subnets are using the same route table. So for both the instances which are created in both the subnets, the NAT gateway will be applicable. So what it will do is, so now somehow I connect to this instance, and when now download something here, whenever I download something here, it will go to route table. Okay, route table will check. Okay, for this subnet, there is a NAT gateway. So let me go to the instance on this. So via this, so as this NAT gateway is in the public subnet, it will go to this private route, public route table here to internet gateway, and it will go like this. Understood, guys? Have you understood this?
It's true.
Yes.
Is clear? So this is what we have to do. So now let me stop sharing. I'll give you the access. You share your screen. Just a second. I made you as the host. Now share your screen. Go to, in the left side, right? You can see something called as NAT. Is there something called as NAT? EC2. You checked in EC2, it is VPC. Okay. So NAT is there, right? Here, create NAT gateway. So on which subnet we are going to create a NAT, either in a public or private subnet, where we have to create? Public. Okay. Select, give some my NAT or something. You give some name. In real time, we have to give a proper name. Okay. NAT 1. Which subnet? Public 1 subnet. Public 1. Right? You create it in public 1. Public 2 also fine, but let's create in public. Scroll down. So public, right? Connectivity, you want to provide public. So internal purpose also we can create with private, but we don't want that. We want outside communication, public. So this NAT want an elastic IP. It need one elastic IP. So you check in the drop down, you select that. So NAT is like an instance. NAT is like an instance, I said, right? It need one public IP address, but that should be an elastic IP, fixed IP. So just click on that, allocate elastic IP. We don't have any elastic IP. Just create allocate elastic IP. Done. Elastic IP has been created. Scroll down. Go to the same section. So just we created one elastic IP result. So that has been selected here. Okay. Just click on the drop down. It will get highlighted. Elastic IP. See, this is the elastic IP. Just now we created, automatically assigned to this, and create a NAT gateway. Just create NAT gateway. So NAT gateway has been created with elastic IP in a public subnet. So see here, state is showing as pending. It is getting created because it is like an instance with extra features. So this will work as a mediator for the instances which are there on a private subnet. Okay. So now go back to your subnet route tables. Will take some time. Route tables. So to which route table I need to add this NAT gateway? Public or private route table?
Private.
Private route table. So remember this, don't get confused. NAT gateway has to create in public subnet. Public subnet has to be created in that, but it need to attach it to private subnet. So how to attach to private subnet is in the private route table. Okay, go to that private route table, select it, routes, edit routes, edit routes, add rule. So you give anyone can communicate, right? So you can give that same range 10 dot. No, not anyone. It can go. You give that. What is that? Just a second. I got confused. So you need to give 30 series. If you give, everything will happen. Just a second. I forgot it. You need to give there. Any access also give, works fine. This also works fine. Give there 0, all zeros you give, no problem. Or else give just the 30 series also fine. Instances, target is this. Okay, give 10 dot 10 dot 30 dot 0 dot 0 slash 16. Try that. Give that 16. So this full VPC, right? Or that subnetting range also you can give. Let's give full VPC. Here, not internet gateway, NAT gateway you have to select. If you give internet gateway, it will become as a public route table. So NAT you have to give. So NAT is on public subnet, right? Here, select, save changes. Okay, it is in, there was an error. All changes have been reverted. Reading. Okay, okay. Back. No. Cancel. Not that. I think you have to give all zeros there. It is saying already route is there for that IPs. It is saying just select. You give all zeros. So what you have to select? NAT gateway, right? Yeah. So select that. So if you give internet gateway, it will become as public. No use. Save. Save. Okay. Okay. Now done. Done. Right? But how to check it? Here it is done. But I want to check how it is connecting. So you're clear? We created a NAT gateway in public subnet and attach it to the instance and attach it to the subnets, private subnets using the private route table. So there is one instance in public subnet which is already working. Now I want to test. I want to connect to the instance which is on the private subnet and make that one-time communication is not possible or not. First, let's check outside to internal communication is working or not. Take the connect command of that private subnet, private instance. Right? NAT gateway should not work both the ways. So let's test the outside to internal communication. It is working or not. Go to EC2. Okay, the meeting is going to end. We'll join back. Take the private instance, connect command and try to connect to that. So from outside to internal communication should be possible or not? It should work or not?